Hey everyone. So, last week, Apple announced a couple of new products. They announced at least three new uh, iPhones and a new Apple Watch. So, let's get into what they actually announced. So, the Apple Watch Series 4 is, the successor to the Apple Watch Series 3 with a new design, which has a larger screen. Uh, um, this is something people have been, you know, something that had been rumored for a bit now that they were going to do a wider, bigger screen on the Apple Watch on all the, on the smaller and the bigger model. They say 30% larger. Um, and you can it it is it looks, when you first look at it, it looks pretty much the same as Series 3, but then when the screen is actually on, you can see there is more room on that watch, and more it makes me think, maybe I want an Apple Watch. Even though I love my Fitbit. But at the same time, it's like, do I really need everything that's on the Apple Watch? I mean, the reason why I like my Fitbit, my Flex, is because it just counts my steps and my sleep. And that's it. That's all it does. That's all I want to do. Do I really need it to tell me the time? No. I have my phone if I need to know the time. But whatever. The Apple Watch Series 4 can do ECGs. It's better, like, heart rate monitoring, basically. And they made it stand that it was FDA approved, being the first FDA approved device that can do ECGs over the counter. The next thing is, I think the thing most people have kind of picked up on, and I feel the memes coming, fall detection. It basically, the Apple Watch Series 4 can be a life alert. So you fall, you can't get up. The Apple Watch, if you do fall and you don't respond to it within a certain amount of time, it will call the person on your emergency contact list to call for help. They have a few new watch faces in the Series 4 that's exclusive to it. A breathing one that goes along with the breathing app. There was a water one that I thought was actually kind of cool. That if I had one, I would probably use that. There's a few other ones that I'm sure I'll have on the screen here now. That were actually kind of cool, and like I said, I think they're exclusive just to the Series 4. The Series 4 starts at $399 for the GPS only model, and $499 for GPS plus cellular. The pre-orders were on Friday, and they will be available in store this Friday on September 21st, but I'm sure those will be limited supply. The next up, we have the iPhone, the thing that, let's face it, everyone was, wanting to hear about. The iPhone XS is what we get. This model is now the iPhone model. And not only that do we get the iPhone XS, we also got the iPhone XS Max. And basically both the XS and the Max are pretty much the same phone, except the Max is the bigger screen. It is, the plus, version of the 10. They have a new A12 Bionic chip, better camera, which is, let's face it, at least for me, that is the thing that I'm always looking for. I always want the better camera. The iPhone XS is a 5.8 inch screen, and the Max is a 6.5 inch screen. So, a little bit larger. I think roughly the same size as the iPhone 8 Plus, but screen size wise, it's bigger because no bezel or home button. They're calling the screen on the Max, it's called the Super Retina display. So it's a Retina display, just like pretty much all the iPhones at this point. The iPhone XS and Max also have a eSIM and a Nano SIM for dual SIM availability in the phone. Basically, eSIM, the SIM card is basically built into the phone, and it will work with most of the U.S. companies. I saw T-Mobile on there, so that was really the one thing. I didn't really care about anyone else. Anything else? I think I saw Sprint and maybe Verizon. I don't remember exactly everything that was on the screen, but and actually on T-Mobile, if you have it, it's actually able to tap into like LTE Advanced, I think Verizon calls it, basically faster LTE speeds, so a little bit faster 4G for some of us. But the eSIM is not available at launch, so you'll still be using your regular SIM card, at least for the near future, until an iOS update basically turns it on later. But either way, it can do dual SIM. They announced, since I know in China there's no eSIM support, so they in those iPhones you'll get basically a SIM card tray that has two slots for SIM cards, front and back, and you can do dual SIM that way. Here, I believe you can do the same. I don't know entirely if that's like China only or what. I mean, they did specifically say China, and China will be doing that, but I don't see why I mean, it's the same phone basically. You could probably do dual SIM that way too in US and Europe. So dual SIM support is finally here for the iPhone, so yay for people who need that. They are also claiming about an hour and a half more of battery life for the iPhone XS and Max. They are doing smart HDR in the camera on the iPhone XS and Max. That looked really cool. You can adjust the f-stops on the portrait mode photos after you take the photo, so you have more control when you're editing your photos, and I am so happy about that. I really am. I'm just so happy about that. That was the one thing I'm just like, oh my god, yes. when I saw that. I can't wait. Gigabit LTE on networks where that's a thing. Like I said before, that's because of the eSIM. The iPhone XS starts at $9.99, and the Max starts at $10.99. Yeah. The pre-orders were Friday. They sold out in like a minute, and they will be available-ish in store on September 21st. Good luck if you try to do that. Good luck. Now, the other thing that they announced that was a little bit of a surprise, but yeah, at the same time was kind of rumored, is the iPhone XR. The XR is basically, if you remember the iPhone 5C, it is a cheaper version of the iPhone, 10s. It has a 6.1 inch screen, so it falls actually kind of in between the iPhone 8 size and the iPhone XS size. The iPhone XR uses a LCD screen instead of an OLED display, so it still has that same look to it, like the 10s and 10s Max, that whole full screen display except for the notch. But if you want a cheaper version of that, this might be your choice. It does use an A12 Bionic chip, so it isn't lacking in that department. It is still pretty powerful. But it only has the one camera on the back, kind of like how the iPhone 8 has the one camera, while the iPhone how the iPhone 10 had the dual camera on the back, but yet the iPhone 8 only had the one little camera on the back. So you won't be getting a lot of the camera features that you would be getting out of the regular iPhone XS. It does, however, have a true depth camera system, just like the iPhone 10 and XS and XS Max do for Face ID, Animoji, AR stuff, all that lovely thing. So you won't be lacking in that department either. The iPhone XR comes in 6 colors. It comes in white, black, blue, yellow, coral, and Project Red. So that's actually kind of cool. That's kind of like its main thing. And if I remember, I think these are pretty much the same colors as the iPhone 5C, but they look much better than the 5C. The 5C, you looked at it looked kind of cheap, while this, it doesn't look cheap. It also supports dual SIM, just like the 10s and 10R. The iPhone XR starts at $749, and pre-orders actually start on October 19th, and will be available in store on October 26th. So actually, if you're looking for an upgrade and maybe don't care about the camera stuff on the 10s and 10 Max, this might actually be a good upgrade for you. And you get to have colors as well. The 10s and Max only come in the normal gold, space gray, and what's the other one? I don't remember what the other one is. A steel like color. So, hey, if you're looking for an upgrade, maybe, and you're more likely actually probably to walk in on October 26th and pick up a 10R than you are to see a 10S or a 10S Max. Another thing I probably should mention, this year the max capacity for these phones is 512 gigabytes. So you're going to be paying out the nose for that, but you can do it. You can get like a 512 iPhone, and that is amazing. Other little things that happened that they announced. An update is coming to the iPhone, the HomePods. That includes lyrics search, multiple timers, which I kind of hope they bring to the iPhone as well, and iPad, because I use timers quite a bit, and there's a lot of times where I wish I had more than one. It will be able to make and receive phone calls finally. You'll be able to initiate Find My iPhone from it, and we'll be able to use Siri shortcuts. They didn't say when that update's coming. It might be part of when iOS 12 comes out, which also will arrive on Monday. Well, came out on Monday. As I'm recording this is Sunday, so it hasn't happened yet, but it's supposed to come out on Monday. And macOS Mojave comes out on September 24th. So that's it for the Apple announcement. People are hoping for a new iPad, but no iPad was announced. And of course, people are hoping for a refresh Max. Once again, not at this event. More likely, if they do another event in October, that's when you'll see Mac refreshes and iPads. Another thing to note, I've been seeing. Remember last year they announced the Power Mat? It was going to be that, basically like a Qi charging mat. You just plop down your iPhone, plop down your Apple Watch, and your HomePod or your EarPods. All mention of that has just disappeared from the Apple site, and they're not saying a word about when or if that's ever coming out. And I think at this point, if they're getting rid of mention of it, I would say if it's ever coming out, which is kind of a shame. I have been kind of holding off on getting a mat, but now, and there's been some mats that are, that I've seen that I might get. I mean, they're only single charging ones, but really my iPhone 10 and when I get my 10s on Friday are really the only ones that can use it, so that doesn't really matter much to me. So yeah, what do you think of the Apple announcements? Leave a comment below, and until next time, bye.
Remember when you told me you believe in something, and you said you're done pretending that fate is patient. Go run away, get it out of your system. Come back when you're older. Go find a place where you can't be the victim.